Welcome back. As we have been reporting, former President Trump says that he is now the target of the January 6th grand jury investigation. Trump, writing in a statement yesterday, deranged Jack Smith sent a letter giving me a very short 4 days to report to the grand jury, which almost always means an arrest and an indictment. Fox's Sean Hannity asked Trump about it last night during a town hall on Fox. Watch.
They're in a rush because they want to interfere. It's interference with the election. It's election interference. Never been done like this in the history of our country, and it's a disgrace. What's happening to our country, whether it's the borders or the elections or kinds of things like this, where the DOJ has become a weapon for the Democrats, an absolute weapon.
Joining me right now is New York Congresswoman, House Republican Chairwoman, and member of the House Armed Services Committee, Elise Stefanik. Congresswoman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning. I know you spoke with Trump yesterday about a potential indictment tied to this case. Tell us about it.
Well, I did speak with President Trump. I speak with President Trump on a weekly basis. I'm a strong supporter, and I've endorsed President Trump because we need to save this country. And look at Joe Biden's Department of Justice. It has become an arm of the Democrat political operation, weaponized against Joe Biden's top political opponent. If you look at the polling, Maria, every single day, Joe Biden's numbers are plummeting. Meanwhile, President Trump's numbers continue to go up. And it is not a coincidence, Maria, that the same week that House Republicans are having a hearing today, actually, hearing from two IRS credible whistleblowers highlighting the politicization of the investigation into Hunter Biden to shield the Biden family member from equal justice under the law, is the same week that Jack Smith makes this announcement. So this is, the American people see this for what this is, which is the weaponization, which is un-American, of the Department of Justice against Joe Biden's political opponents.
Yeah, but what can you do about it, Congresswoman? This keeps happening over and over again, and we're seeing the fight that you and your colleagues are putting up. But what can you do? You send a letter, you do a hearing. At the end of the day, you need a willing partner in the Department of Justice, and that's Joe Biden's DOJ.
Well, we have a number of tools at our disposal, Maria. So first, I want to take a step back. It's because the Republicans are in the majority that we have uncovered all of this evidence of the fact that Joe Biden is compromised, the fact that Hunter Biden sold access to the sitting vice president of the United States, Joe Biden, his father, and took tens of millions of dollars to the Biden family from China and Russia. This was while Joe Biden was vice president, Maria. If Republicans were not in the majority, the American people would not know that. They would not know. They would not have heard from the IRS credible whistleblower. So we're going to continue to follow the facts wherever they may lead. We have every tool at our disposal, the appropriations tools, the contempt tools, and other constitutional responsibilities as members of Congress. And you know, I am proud to stand in the breach for this fight to save this country, to save who we are as the United States of America.
Yeah, but you've got limitations also. I mean, look, you could actually get an impeachment articles on the table for Merrick Garland, but you're not going to get an impeachment in the Senate.
Well, Maria, we will look at every option. I have always said we will use every tool at our disposal. But unlike the Democrats, we're going to do the proper investigation. And we have great committee chairs in Jim Jordan, Jamie Comer, and Jason Smith who are conducting this hearing this week. And we will follow the evidence and continue to shine a spotlight on, again, the fact that the President of the United States is compromised and that there's been criminal behavior within the Biden family.
This is just stunning. It is also stunning, Congresswoman. You're introducing new legislation which would push back against Chinese and Russian ties to U.S. colleges and stop U.S. taxpayer money from funding those countries' militaries. Congresswoman, tell us about it, because we know that right now the White House keeps leaking this idea that it's about to put these new rules in place, but they never materialize, which, again, raises the question of, is this president compromised? Because he tries to make out like he's going to come up with something to push back on communist China, and yet what is he actually doing? Sending one cabinet member after another to get embarrassed on the global stage.
Well, you're exactly right, Maria. Joe Biden is weak on China. The fact that whether you have John Kerry, who is, basically an ambassador for this administration, or sending Secretary Blinken, meanwhile, communist China is conducting significant cyber espionage. This recent news that there was hacking of cabinet level officials conducted by communist China. We stand strong as Republicans, and certainly President Trump, the leading Republican nominee, stands strong when it comes to countering communist China. My legislation will ensure that no U.S. taxpayer dollars go towards funding any higher ed institution that is taking money or partnerships with communist Chinese higher ed. We've seen a history of communist China trying to make inroads in our education system through their Confucius Institutes, and it was us as Republicans that banned Confucius Institutes. So we need to shield and ensure that no taxpayer dollars go towards funding communist Chinese propaganda.
Yeah, we'll see. They've been able to infiltrate a lot of areas of this economy and have been very successful in doing it. That's the CCP. The Israeli president is delivering an address to the joint meeting of Congress today, marking 75 years of Israel's independence. House lawmakers voted 412 to 9 yesterday, passing a resolution to affirm America's support for Israel and condemn anti-Semitism. And that was in response to what Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal said about Israel over the weekend. Let's play that so our audience knows what she said. Watch.
I want you to know that we have been fighting to make it clear that Israel is a racist state, that the Palestinian people deserve self-determination and autonomy.
Yeah, there was no condemnation of that comment from the White House. Jayapal voted yesterday to approve the resolution, though, Congresswoman. Your reaction?
Well, look at her words. It is a vile anti-Semitic statement, and this is becoming more and more pervasive in today's Democrat Party, and the silence is deafening from the Democrat leadership. House Republicans stand strongly with Israel. It's one of our greatest and most important allies. We are honored to host the president of Israel, Isaac Herzog, for a joint session address. It's a high honor, and it also comes on the heels of Speaker McCarthy delivering a speech at the Knesset when he visited Israel. I just came back from a Codell in Israel congressional delegation. I helped lead that just a few months ago, and we need to continue to strengthen our relationship. But it is Democrats who have anti-Semitism within their caucus, and it needs to be condemned. House Republicans are proud to condemn it. Today we're hosting a press conference highlighting how it's House Republicans that will always stand strongly with Israel, who, by the way, is the greatest beacon of democracy in the Middle East.
Yes, for sure. Elise Stefanik, great to talk with you this morning. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you, Maria.
All right, we will see you soon.